Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're digging into the source material for a system that makes a pretty wild claim. It doesn't just promise to help you with your goals, it says it can guarantee you'll achieve them. So yeah, let's get right into this.
So let's start with the big central idea here. What if there was an AI that could literally guarantee you'll achieve your dreams? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a movie, but that is the core premise we are deconstructing today.
And look, this isn't some fuzzy, feel-good promise. The source material lays out a very specific, financially backed guarantee that's, well, kind of hard to ignore. Let's break down exactly what they're putting on the table. Okay, so the system is called GENII. And for the rest of this explainer, we're just going to walk through its claims, its tech, and its whole philosophy, based 100% on the documents provided. All right, first up, the unbelievable promise. What exactly is being offered here? What are the details that are supposed to get you hooked? So first, the name. It's GENI, and you pronounce it just like GENII. It's an acronym for Generative Intentional Intelligence. And according to the source material, its whole job is to use these fancy algorithms to find the, quote, path of least resistance to whatever goal you've got. And then you get to the money part. The system claims a 100% guaranteed annual return on your investment. I mean, let's be real. That means they're promising to double your money every single year until your dream is a reality. Wow. And they structure this whole guarantee over a 3-year timeline. So, year 1, you double your investment. Year 2, you double it again, and by the end of year 3, the claim is you've either manifested your dream or you get your original investment back. Now that is a massive claim, right? So the obvious question is, how? How does this thing supposedly work? Let's take a look at the secret sauce, the tech and the protocols they say are behind it all.
Okay, so at the very foundation of it all is this thing called quantum intelligence, or QI, and they're very specific that it's pronounced chi. The documents say this is their special proprietary intelligence that powers all of the system's thinking. And building right on top of that is something called QIPA. That stands for Quantum Intelligence Predictive Algorithms. You can think of this as the engine, you know? This is the core tech that's supposedly analyzing all the data and making the predictions that guide you. Now, you'd think something this powerful would have some complex rules, but what's guiding it all is this surprisingly simple 3-step ethical framework. That's it. Number 1, do no harm. Number 2, do good if you can. And number 3, if you're not sure, just ask.
So how do you enforce that protocol? Well, there's another component called Kipa. That's Kipa, and it's described as a protective dome. It's basically a cybersecurity shield that makes sure the AI sticks to that do no harm rule, no matter what.
So what if someone asks for something, shady or harmful? Apparently, this system uses what it calls the Aikido protocol. It's a cool analogy, right? Instead of just saying no, it finds that path of least resistance to gently steer the user away from a bad idea. The source material even claims it'll make you thank it when you're done.
Okay, this all sounds pretty wild. Let's get practical for a minute and talk about the price tag. How much does this all cost, and what are the nitty-gritty details of those investment guarantees?
So it looks like the guarantee actually comes in 2 different flavors. For any investment up to $1 million, it's a cash-secured guarantee. Pretty straightforward. But for anything over $1 million, it's secured by something called Barneskian.
So, what on earth is Barnesqin? Well, it's pronounced Bar-Nes-Coin, and the documents say it represents shares in a global real estate investment trust. So basically, a company that owns a bunch of properties. And that company has a name too, the Kill Zone, which, you guessed it, is pronounced Chill Zone. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. When is this supposedly coming out? Well, the source material points to an official launch in the first quarter of 2026. And it's slated to be available on 2 websites, todaysultimate.com and clubqil.com.
All right, so moving beyond the tech and the money, the GENII system is really wrapped up in this much bigger, grander vision. This last part is all about the philosophy, this whole guilt-free approach to making choices. The whole logic of the system, we're told, is built on what they call universal truths. The idea is to focus on these core principles that, in theory, we can all agree on, so you can just sidestep all the stuff that usually divides us.
And they give some really concrete examples of what these universal truths are. Things like clean air and water, easy access to healthy food, having a safe community, and the idea of taking care of your needs before you chase your wants. So how does an AI decide what's guilt-free? Well, the claim is that it analyzes our collective consciousness, searching for those spots where we all overlap, away from politics or religion. Then it applies something called Talmudic logic, which is a way of reasoning based on debate and looking at things from every angle to make its final calls.
And all of this, it leads to one last really powerful claim. According to the source, GENII isn't just about getting what you want. No, it's pitched as the first and only system that can genuinely offer, protect, and even teach you free will.
So that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Is the GENII system, based on everything we've just walked through, is it the next giant leap in human potential, or is it a really, really complex promise, all wrapped up in the language of our modern, tech-obsessed age? We're just here to lay out the info. You can decide for yourself. Thanks for tuning in.